everyone. I am so excited this morning yet again. Earlier, I was talking to Pastor Charles Fanonselin, and now I'm talking to Ntate Mama Bulo, Russell Mama Bulo from the Tax Umbud Office. Ntate Mama Bulo, good morning.
Dumelang,
Ai,
le kae fela? Good morning.
ke tlo go busa. O tshwantse o bue Engels le nna.
I know, ke itumela go ba go nna mo ke ntse ke bua le wena.
Are you good? How's 2025?
I'm great. The year seems promising. It's good.
Uh-huh.
And I've just heard the song that you played.
Yes.
All about grace, and that's really what we really have to believe in.
Yeah, we're depending on it. We are nothing without God's grace, hey?
That's great, yes.
So today we want to know more about your offers, what you have to offer as the the tax Umbud, and I can't wait to hear more. It's 2025. Are there any changes, anything new that we need to know about? But can you take us through some of the taxpayer rights, how taxpayers should understand them, and the implications? But before we get to that, please tell us about your offers first.
Yes, thank you for that. The Office of the Tax Ombud is actually mandated to assist taxpayers with complaints they have against us. We are a government entity. The services that we offer are free, and of course, we strive by all means, to be impartial and independent. And also is that we in the process of us assisting taxpayers with complaints that they have, we also encourage taxpayers to actually first have to exhaust the SARS internal complaints resolution process before approaching us, unless if definitely something is really compelling and pushing them to immediately seek our attention, because we prefer, whenever you have a problem or a challenge with somebody, you first raise the issue with the particular person. And in this particular case, it's the same, process whereby we say raise the complaint first with the SARS Complaint Management Office,
Yeah.
and then if they can't, definitely come to us. But we will do our best to ensure that definitely, we look into that particular, complaint that you have with SARS. And of course, the Complaint Management Office in SARS offices will be given a period of 21 days, from the onset when you lodge a complaint. And definitely, if they don't come back to you after the 21 days, then you become, our client, and we will be able to look into your complaint and to see how best to help you.
So, Ntate Mama Bulo, are these services free? The services offered by the Tax Umbud Office.
Yes, definitely. Our services are free. We do not charge anything, and we are trying our utmost best to ensure that we really assist taxpayers in this process. Our services are free. We don't expect any cent from you because we are a government entity, and of course, we'll do our best to give you. We're actually trying to save you costs as well, because Sibongile, a lot of people get into challenges and they want to take SARS to court. So we say try us first, and then let's see how best we can help you, so that you don't spend so much money, in court with all those processes, and finding that you have lost so much money. But
Yeah.
use our services, and the fact that we also have access to the SARS systems, put us even in a better position, because we won't even ask SARS. We just simply go to the system, check where the issues are, and we are then able to, resolve the complaint that we have.
So now, Ntate Mama Bulo, can you also take us through the process of how one can access these services?
Yeah, basically what will happen is that you first have to raise your matter with SARS. And then SARS, if they don't come back to you within 21 days, you come to us. How you come to us? We have, our offices are in Main Lane, in Pretoria. But of course, we serve the entire country. And of course, you can reach us through our website to get information there. And then we're expecting to fill just a 2-page document for you to explain to us what is the issue that you are complaining about, and sort of that form actually gives us a mandate, a permission from your side to say, look into my case, and I have this. I have tried to engage with SARS, but they are not coming to the party and helping me. And then we will look into that particular matter. Of course, we have parameters that we have to look into. For an example, we have a specific mandate. Some people will approach us and say, no, you know what, I've got an insurance issue. We don't deal with all those other aspects. Our work is only related to the complaints that you have with SARS, directly with SARS. We don't handle complaints that you might have. You bought a car and then there's issues with the bank. No, we do not go into that particular space, but specifically this one that we are just articulating at the moment. And we will, once we have accepted your complaint, we will investigate it. As I've indicated, the access we have to the SARS systems. Then immediately, once we found that there's a remember, SARS is governed by the Tax Administration Act. So a Tax Administration Act articulate specific processes on what needs to be done on a particular matter. Whether there's an audit that you are complaining about that is not being finalized, or any other process that is there for you to ensure that your tax matters are in order. There is this. If we found that one specific process has not been adhered to, then that's where we make immediate, a recommendation to SARS to resolve that particular, complaint. And we have seen that most of our recommendations that we have put forward to SARS, 99% of those recommendations are being implemented, by SARS. So we have a very good working relationship with them, with SARS, because we are trying by all means to ensure that, we give a proper service, and it also assists SARS as well, to rectify their processes whenever we identify an anomaly in the process.
Okay, Ndate Mamabulo, you have been running a campaign called Be a Smart Taxpayer, as the Tax Umbud offers. What does this campaign entail regarding taxpayer rights, and what has been its impact?
Yes, this campaign, we are actually trying to alert and saying, to try and get taxpayers, to be savvy, to really understand, their rights as taxpayers. But also, we are also trying to push and ensure that the taxpayers, comply with SARS processes. Of course, you'll understand that we will not encourage people to dodge their tax affairs. However, we are trying to make sure that they comply, and if there's an issue in terms of compliance, then that's where we can assist them with that particular process, because many people wouldn't know where to go whenever they have challenges, or specifically when they are shut down, maybe from the call center agents or the SARS side, or maybe they've called, then they get frustrated. And if that service is not coming forth, and that's where we come in and we are able to to try and help the process. So the campaign generally is to bring awareness about our services as well, but also intensify or even make sure that each and every person understands their tax rights. Because you'll understand, Sibongile, that many people, whenever they get communication from SARS, they become so fearful, frustrated, and they don't know what to do. So we are saying, look, it's fine. Yes, read whatever that communication that comes through, and do not just sit and do nothing. However, act. And if you really don't understand and you need assistance, you are most welcome to approach us, and we will be able to assist you, so that you don't have the pain or the yes. I know it's frustrating, more especially when you owe SARS, and you don't have money. People just shut, but you don't have to do that. you need to engage. And those are typical, taxpayer rights that we are talking about, because as much you may not even agree with the assessment that has been done by SARS.
Yeah.
But then what do? If you don't agree with the assessment, you don't just sit and say, it will resolve itself. No. However, there is a process, or you can even approach us and say, and raise a concern to say, I do not agree with this. They will definitely give you a time frame when they will have to re-look into that particular process. And still, if they come to you and say that, look, this is our position, but you still are not happy, that's where you come to us. And then we will have a look as well and see where the issue is. And then should we identify the wrong on the SARS side, we'll raise it with them. And if you are also wrong, we will definitely take our time and explain to you the process properly so that you are rest assured. And some people also feel that, for an example, they owe large amounts of money to SARS.
Yeah.
And they don't have it with them, immediately. You can contact SARS and make an arrangement and say, look, this is my position, but you have to be honest and truthful if you talk about those particular issues, because SARS has access to your information, and if you lie, then they won't be able to listen to your request or your proposal. So that's what it is important in terms of the rights and entitlements that the taxpayers have, for them to be able to understand how best they can be assisted.
Sure. When you are owing SARS and they let you know that you are always going to be under their surveillance, that also scares us.
Yes. Yeah. And it's a problem. And you know what happens?
Yeah.
If you keep quiet and you don't do anything, then after a particular period, they will send you a letter of demand because they've made you aware and you have not responded. They send you a letter of demand.
Yeah.
And they are also, if you don't respond to that letter of demand as well, SARS will act within the prescripts of the law, and they will go to your bank and wait up until you get paid, and then they will take their money. And then you will sit with the change. If they don't find anything there, then they will make what we refer to as in many instances, especially for employees, garnishing orders. That's where you end up having a garnishing order because you have been ignoring SARS. Or some people will say, look, I wasn't aware that I owe SARS. And that's where we say, make sure that you update your contact details with SARS. If your contact details are clearly updated, on the SARS side, because at times we lose cell phones, you change contact numbers, you move houses, or, change emails or things like that. So SARS must be able to communicate with you. So if they communicate with you and you find that communication landed on a cell phone or maybe an email that you cannot see, then it becomes a challenge. So hence we say one of the obligations of you as a taxpayer, you need to make sure that SARS has proper contact details where they can reach you and they communicate with you.
All right. Ndate Mamabulo, let's take a break and then come back to talk to you some more. I know there's more that we still need to know about, but family, I'm so excited by what the Office of the Tax Ombud is doing. Right now, the Tax Ombud Office is eager to empower us as taxpayers by sharing important information about our rights and obligations during their campaign that is called Be a Smart Taxpayer Campaign. So do stay tuned. We're coming back with Sir Russell Mamabulo.
No other God can save and redeem me. No other you're the greatest, greatest of them all. You're majestic, almighty, all powerful. The earth and the heavens obey you. You're the greatest, greatest of them all. You are the greatest of them all. You are the greatest. I am alone. You are the greatest, the greatest of them all. You are the greatest of them all. You are the greatest. I am alone. You are the greatest, the greatest of them all. Your glory you share with no one. You're a shepherd, a father, a king. You're the greatest, greatest of them all. Day and on. You are the greatest, the greatest of.
Beautiful sounds coming there from Prophet Brenda. You are the greatest. We're sitting on 15 minutes just before 10. And I am Sibongile Mofokeng with you up until 11 o'clock right here on Just For You this awesome morning. I'm not alone. I am with Ntate Russell Mamabulo from the Tax Ombudsman Office. And it's all about us taxpayers and the Ombudsman protecting our rights. So Ntate Mamabulo, can you take us through this process now? Let's look into what you spoke about earlier on as when we started. For somebody who's also joining us for the first time now, we understand your office is creating awareness about taxpayer rights and has produced a publication referred to as the Compilation of Taxpayer Rights and Entitlements and Obligations. What is your role as the Tax Ombudsman Office in protecting taxpayers' rights?
Yes, I think our mandate is clear in terms of our responsibilities in protecting the rights of taxpayers, and hence, this campaign, to try and bring awareness to taxpayers and the whole public out there to say, you as a taxpayer, as much as the South African Revenue Services is collecting, revenue from your side, there are prescripts that are, governing the process of collecting revenue. And if there's any challenge there between that process, and that's where we come in to say, look, as much as you have to pay, taxes, you have this right that you must be aware of. For an example, you have the right to privacy and confidentiality. No one is allowed from the SARS side and also our Office of the Tax Ombudsman, to go out in public and and talk about your tax affairs. I can't go to any social media and say, "Wow, you owe so much." Oh, no wonder. You know what happens at times. When people, yeah, and we cannot do that. However, we have seen a number of cases where individuals, they go public and they talk about their tax affairs in public, and in the process they smear the name either of SARS or of the OTO. Now, in that particular case, SARS will be compelled, as well as the Office of the Tax Ombudsman, will be compelled to go out in public and clarify that particular situation.
Okay.
And that's where now your tax affairs will now be laid bare for everybody to know the truth and be able to talk about that. But in fairness, nobody is allowed to go out, proactively talk about your tax affairs. So your relationship with SARS will just sit with SARS, and that's it.
Yeah.
And some people, some people, like, even I can't come now and talk on radio about your tax affairs.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to.
Yeah.
Yes. And you are protected. And hence, if you have issues with SARS, you need to take them up with SARS.
But now,
And if SARS can help you,
Yeah.
we come in and we'll be able to help you.
you know, some famous people that we know, our celebrities, for example, from time to time we hear, "Ooh, so and so is owing SARS this much." They even, like, it will be all over social media platforms. It will be all over the news. So what does it mean? That person's rights are not protected?
Well. Hence, I'm saying, if it happens that that particular celebrity has gone out and talk about her or his,
But most of the time,
tax
that
affairs in
Mamabulo,
public.
what I've noticed in the Mamabulo, the artists themselves are not saying anything about it. You just read about it from somebody else, from some other journalist, and then it's spoken about on socials.
Yeah, then it will have to be determined where that person gets the information, because
Yeah.
there is absolute no way that the SARS and the Office of the Tax Ombudsman can go and talk about it. And in most cases, what I'm aware of, they pick up these issues from the courts, because you might find that a person has now taken SARS to court, and once the court documents become public, once a court of law is in session and they are trying to deal with it, that's where they pick up the story and they write about it in many instances.
Okay.
But in reality, nobody from these institutions, will be able to talk and proactively share that information.
So can you take us through some of the other taxpayer rights that are there, how taxpayers should understand them and their implications?
Yes. For an example, you have the right, to finality. Some taxpayers complain that SARS keeps on conducting audit forever, with them. Like, for example, they say, no, this year you've been selected for audit, next year, and throughout. SARS must be able to say to you, look, we are conducting this audit, and it will start on this particular
And
period,
it will end
for
on
this
this.
particular period, and it will end. Because if things are not finalized, it puts you in a difficult and uncomfortable situation. And we are also saying, if this happens and SARS is not, coming back to you and confirming and finalizing your matter, you are most welcome to approach us. And also, in terms of, there's another one which talks about you are entitled to make certain requests, proposals, applications to SARS. And in this particular instance, what will happen is that I think I'll have to take you back to that matter where you find that you owe SARS. And if you owe SARS, say, for example, you owe SARS, say, 30,000, but in your circumstances, you are able to pay SARS 15,000.
Yeah.
You are most welcome, and the other 15,000, definitely you won't have it because of your commitments and commitment and things like that. So you can approach SARS and say, SARS, look, I'm aware that I owe you, but it's a process. Of course, you have to make an appointment. But I'm just saying, I can approach them and say, you are making a request or even a proposal to SARS to say, I'm aware I owe you 30,000. However, I have 15,000 and this is my situation, my circumstances. Kindly, consider the 15,000 and let's close this matter.
Okay.
So it will depend on SARS, on whatever information that you give to them, but also your circumstances. They can make a decision, and it is possible that they can accede to your proposal, or if they are aware of any other matter that is not aligned with what we are discussing. I'm sorry, with what we are discussing with them, they can deny that particular proposal. So there is that opportunity, and hence I say, if SARS communicates with you, don't sit and not do anything. Make an appointment, go to them, and if this process is not clear, you are also most welcome to come, to our office, and we will be able to look into the matter and assist you.
I heard somebody. Okay, yes.
Okay.
I heard
I was just saying. Oh, maybe let me allow you to talk first.
I heard somebody advising someone who was owing SARS, and they were owing something like 2,000. And this person said, who was like into accountancy and all that, accounting, said, no, as long as you, because the person was asking, can I make an arrangement? And the other one was like, no, you don't need to. If you can't afford to pay it now, all of it, just make sure that there's money that goes in. Does that work? Or that person is not protected in that manner?
Well, what I'm aware of is that as long as you owe SARS, they will communicate with you and make you aware that you owe them. And once they send a communication, you are obligated to approach them and inform them and say, look, I'm aware that I owe you 2,000. However, I have 500 now that I can put forward, and the rest, can we make an arrangement that I pay this amount in this particular installment?
Okay.
And they in many instances, they do accede to that. But you must make sure that you adhere to that agreement, because if you deviate from the agreement, everything stops, and then they'll demand their money, all of their money at once.
All right. Okay, Ntate Mamabolo, I know time is against us, but as we are just about to sum up, can you take us through the taxpayer right that has the most significant meaning and why? And then you can also wrap it up for us.
Yes, I think through this campaign, be a smart taxpayer, know your tax rights, and then be compliant. We are trying to bring balance in terms of you knowing what is it that you need to do. You don't have to be scared of SARS. What is it that you can do to make sure that you are compliant with SARS? And hence, we also say that from our office as well, we cannot assist you to dodge your responsibilities, towards SARS. And hence, articulating all this campaign and the messages that we are trying to get through to anybody. And should anybody not be able to be clear and understand what we are talking about, you are most welcome to call us on our toll-free line, 0800 662 837. And also the information is on our website, www.taxombat.gov.za. You can also send us an email at complaints@taxombat.gov.za. And like I said, we have only one office, which is in Pretoria Main Lane, but that does not mean that we cannot, you cannot access us. And we are also active. We have quite a number of social media platforms on X at Taxombat, on Facebook, Taxombat SA. We are also on Instagram at Taxombat SA, and also on LinkedIn, Office of the Tax Ombudsman. So the information is available. It's out there. It's you that now needs to act and approach us for any clarity on any issues, so that you stay tax compliant with SARS and you don't have sleepless nights.
Can you repeat the numbers again?
The toll-free number is 0800 662 837.
Thank you
Yes.
so much, Ntate Mamabolo, for talking to us this morning, empowering us in this manner. And we are going to be smart taxpayers in 2025.
Indeed, indeed. We really would appreciate that.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for the time you've
Thank
given
you.
unto us. And may God
Thank you. Have
bless
a
you.
good day. Thank you. Have a good day.
And that is Sir Russell Mamabolo from the Tax Umbud office, my family. And just do remember the numbers again, the toll-free number, if you'd like to be in contact with them, it's 0800 662 837. 0800 662 837. I'm going to say it slowly. 0800 662 837. And you can find them on www.taxumbut.gov.za. It's taxumbut.gov.za. On X, it's at taxumbut. And on other platforms like LinkedIn, it's taxumbut. SA. So that's how you can get hold of them. And yes, in 2025, can we be the smart taxpayers that we ought to be? Know our rights and exercise them, but also know our responsibilities in all of it. Know our responsibilities and play it safe. Make sure that we pay or we give what belongs to Caesar as much as we give to God what belongs to God.
Radio buzzing of life, 657 AM.
Are you ready to boost